Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to another Access show. Today we're going to be taking a look at the news that PIXARK is obviously coming out very soon. I kept you guys up to date with PIXARK, the highs and very much the lows over the last year. For sure, I was really hyped about PIXARK when it launched last year. I thought it was going to be a great mix of Minecraft and Ark Survival Evolved. I ended up being disappointed. The game clearly had massive problems, particularly on Xbox, and although early access and game preview give a chance for developers to update and improve their game, the developers of PIXARK really did not do that. It took them months and months to fix the most basic of problems, and they really didn't communicate with anyone via social media, just kind of left the game to kind of dwindle and die. I nearly decided to put this as a no one is playing series, but the truth is there are some people playing this game on Steam. Although it doesn't have thousands of players, it isn't the worst numbers I've seen. It's a different story on Xbox though. Look at the footage here, and obviously you can see only 5 people are playing it currently on official servers. Now that does have something to do with their update that they announced, but not much. In fact, I've been checking on PIXARK over the last 6 months or so, and pretty much every time I've looked, it's barely had more than 10 to 15 people playing it at any one point. And that's on Xbox. PC does fare a little bit better, but it does seem like Snail Games have just really struggled to keep hold of players or turn opinion about this game around. I've been pretty vocal as well in the past, criticising the way that they've communicated and the lack of updates for the game. So we're going to go over a few things to do with that, but let's read this big statement, which is big news, and again another negative point. The game does hit Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox out of game preview and Steam out of early access on May the 31st. They're going to be wiping the servers on that day too to start brand new fresh. Now that isn't the big controversy. Believe it or not like Ark, I don't think people are going to care that much. And it's pretty normal for early access games to wipe their servers when they come out of early access. They are offering a chance for you to save your characters though, so if you've got and unlocked lots of things, particularly on official servers, which are still quite grindy and punishing just like Ark, you can send an email to their support team and they will be able to sort out some way that you'll keep your character. This is the one that's made my blood boil a little bit, and I've recorded this once before, but it ended up being 40 minutes of me just having a bit of a rage and a moan. And I'd rather be a little bit more constructive and try and just do it without me being such a salty prick. So anyway, they're increasing the price from $24 to $39.99. In fact, they've already done it. I'm pretty sure PIXARK was a bit cheaper than it was right now. Currently it's £31.99 or $30.99 in the UK, which roughly equals $39.99. You can see it hasn't affected the Microsoft Store yet, the price increase. It's still available for £20.99, but I expect that to go up very soon. All in all, this is a real bullshit move. They didn't give any forward notice that the price would be increasing, and they've already done it on Steam. As you can see, it's already now £30.99 on the Steam store page. Now Snail Games and by extension Wildcard have previous in this. In fact, they've done it before with Ark. Before leaving early access, Ark increased its price by double. Much to the criticism of a lot of people, including other game developers like the DayZ creator Dean Anthony Hall, who said it was absolutely mad that a game so unfinished could be charging $60. Well, history has proven that was kind of right. It's taken 2 years to resolve lots of issues in Ark Survival Evolved, with many issues still not fixed. But I don't want to go on about Ark today, I do want to keep this focused on PIXARK. So, PIXARK is increasing its price. It's increasing it by nearly 40%. For a game that's barely had any content added during the early access period, I struggle to see where they've got the value from. It says here the price change better reflects the content that is currently in the game, and all owners of PIXARK will receive a first DLC for free. So yes, PIXARK is also planning paid DLC. Again, I've covered this extensively in the past, talking about the interviews with developers, how they stressed that they were going to be adding new dinosaurs, and it would be in terms of paid biomes that would automatically spawn new creatures. So pretty much like Ark Survival Evolved at the moment, you buy a new map in Ark, it comes with new dinosaurs, ergo you're paying for new creatures. Going through some of the videos, I really was excited about this. I love Minecraft and I love Ark. And I thought the idea of both of these games together would be absolutely mental. It turns out though it was mental in a bad way and not in a good way. The game just didn't receive enough content during early access. Now developers did stress that it was 80% done when it launched in early access, and so you kind of assume that maybe alright they're not going to be adding too much more. But the fact that they've spent another 6 months, because it was meant to be coming out in December time, working on the game, and yet they still haven't actually told us really what's coming. It is going to take a colossal update for me to really feel positive about this game. It doesn't play the worst, as you can see from the footage below. This was in the Xbox yesterday, and I've got to say, frame rates were okay, it wasn't crashing, I played it for about an hour and a half, and there wasn't any significant problems, other than some maybe cheap UI decisions, and just the same old problems that you kind of expect, with creatures running towards the same point on the map when you spawned them in, much like the Quets used to on Ark. But undoubtedly this has pissed me off, that they think it's okay to raise the price of a game that has been absolutely savaged in reviews time and time again. It's got a mixed rating of 62%, so that's only 62% of the people that have played this game think it's okay. And 56% only think it's okay in the last 30 days. A big portion of the reviews just really state that it's not really suitable as much as they thought it would be for their kids. Many pointing out the fact that the game just didn't receive any content. And I'm not talking about lots of dinosaurs during early access, but bug fixes and problems being currently addressed. On the Microsoft Store, it's got 2.5 stars. And trust me, getting 2.5 stars is pretty hard on console. Not that many people go to the bother of putting reviews in like they do on Steam. And there have been some absolute dog piles of games that have got better review scores. But it is Microsoft that had the most issues, with crashing, problems, no online servers for months when it launched, and no communication from the developers about what was happening. Again, I have covered this all, and I don't really want to keep going over old, broken, salty news. But the long and short of it is, developers really didn't update the game enough on Xbox. They sold it at quite an expensive price as it was when it launched. Comparatively to other games like Minecraft, Portal Knights, and even Dragon Quest Builders, PIXARK is pretty expensive for what it is. So I am currently struggling to see how they can increase the price by 40%. Probably worth more of a discussion when I discuss the whole of Snail Games rather than just PIXARK, but look at all these games I'm showing you right now that increased their price when they came out of early access. Games like Subnautica, The Long Dark, DayZ, all of these games increased their prices, some of them increasing it by only 10%, 25%, or way higher like 40% like DayZ. Now lots of these games have sold millions of copies. These games have all had bundles of updates, loads of content added to the game during early access and after early access. If any developer deserves the extra revenue that they're going to get from going full retail price, it is games like Subnautica and The Long Dark that have been universally received as pretty good, great games. So many people like these games. DayZ's a little bit more complicated, with that game being just a clusterfuck all the way through its early access period and the problems that affected its development, but nevertheless it's still got a dedicated fan base and it has pleased a lot of people over the years. So where does PIXARK fit into that? They haven't got a dedicated fan base, they haven't got a whole host of people saying it's great. Now supposedly they have got new content coming with update 1.0. They've got automation, maybe taking a little bit of an example from Factorio and Satisfactory recently. And to be honest, I ain't gonna lie, I'm liking the look of it. Mainly because I really enjoy Satisfactory. They're also adding breeding, one of the biggest requested features. Now something that I had lots of arguments with subscribers over last year was the fact that the developers were planning that you couldn't keep your tames past a few days. That depending on what level the tame was, that's how long it would last in in-game days. Many content creators disagreed with me and so did a lot of you guys. But in my eyes, if the taming was quick and easy, it just felt like a new adventure every day, going out there and grabbing whatever tame you needed for that specific purpose. And one of the big problems and issues with Ark Survival Evolved is people having hundreds of dinosaurs that they don't use. Now PIXARK actually added something that helped fix that. They were the ones that brought in the very first version of having your creatures put into pods. And that's exactly what Wildcard did with Extinction. I probably didn't make enough of a moment with this when it happened, but basically something that's free in PIXARK as a feature was a paid DLC feature for Ark Survival Evolved. Is that not just a bit mad? Anyway, maybe breeding will be enough for a lot of people to forgive the shoddy development and the crap communication all throughout PIXARK's early life, and maybe it will please a lot of the fan base that really didn't like the game because there wasn't any breeding, or maybe possibly the fault of not keeping their creatures. Has to be said, developers did listen to what a lot of the complaints were, and they did end up leaving the creatures there so they don't run out after a couple of days. You do in fact keep your creatures as long as you want. So say what you will, I'm sure there's going to be people frantically typing now saying the game is great, it's fun, my kids loved it. Well, I'd seriously question what type of games you've been letting your kids play, because there are some fantastic games out there that I wholly recommend. Portal Knight's absolutely fantastic game. Go and grab that for your kids. Half the price of PIXARK. Dragon Quest Builders, a pretty decent one. Or just give them some extra money to buy some new Minecraft skin packs. I'm not saying completely ignore PIXARK, but I just don't believe it's worth the price that they're going to be charging. But we'll have to wait and see, and I want to be fair, so when the reviews come out for it I can say that I gave it its best shot. But the other big worry that I've got real concerns about is Nintendo Switch. We all know Nintendo Switch has had problems and issues, basically being on the same sort of power level as Xbox and PlayStation. But nevertheless, it has achieved a lot. Some fantastic games have been ported over to the Switch. One of them games that hasn't been great has been Ark Survival Evolved. Take a look at just these review scores just by typing in Google Ark Switch. 1 out of 5, 4 out of 10, 29% on Metacritic. And that was the critical score. It's even lower on the user score. Now again, I don't want to harp on about Ark, but it's important to recognise that all of these games are linked and tied together by Snail Games. They own the IP for Ark, and it was them that greenlit PIXARK being made. It's also them, I do believe, that is holding up updates for Ark on Switch. The people responsible for porting it over Abstraction Games are the same people that made the PlayStation 4 version. They desperately want to update the game. They've said they've worked on a patch already, and they pretty much just need Wildcard or Snail Games to give them the go ahead, and they could improve the stability of it, improve optimization, and basically make Ark run a whole lot better on Nintendo Switch. I showed you guys in a live stream how bad the game was, and I have spoken a couple times about Ark on Switch being the worst way to play the game. So I'm really worried about how PIXARK is going to fit on the Switch too. I just can't see it running that well. So I'm advising everyone with kids that is looking forward to maybe this being full release or buying it on Switch, please wait for the reviews to come out. And even when the reviews do come out, even if it says it's a medium game, wait until it goes cheap. I don't know if that'll happen on Nintendo Switch. They have plenty of sales on Xbox and PS4 for Ark, but in my mind there's no doubt about it, PIXARK is not worth $40. It is another cash grab attempt by Snail Games. I have been working a few months now on a video talking about Snail Games. They've had their hand in a few projects in the last 18 months to 2 years, including Dark and Light, Outlaws of the Old West and Fear the Nights. Pretty much every game they touch tends to be a bit of a cash grab. Lots of hype, lots of attention when it launches, and then players actually get a chance to play it after seeing streamers and YouTubers and discovering that it's just a bit janky and shit. Now the other thing to note as well is that they are paying a lot of streamers and tubers to promote PIXARK. So on release day there is a whole host of ways that you can earn money if you're a streamer or a tuber. I have been approached also, but I won't be taking it. Who knows, maybe I'm not even meant to be showing you this. It's nothing that outrageous. Lots of content creators take promotional work, and as long as they tell you guys it's promotional work, there's not a problem. I've done it as well occasionally in the past. But just look at the amounts that some streamers or tubers are going to be able to earn. So if you see some of your favourite content creators playing this game, really question what's happening with it. Just be warned, if they've got promo in their titles, it's because they're going to be earning $400 to do so, not because they generally think the game is good. For sure, there are going to be some content creators that genuinely like PIXARK and have got no problems promoting it, and it's their opinion. They're not going to be the same as me, but I do question what system they're playing it on and whether or not they're getting paid. As far as I can see, there's no restrictions on saying what your opinion of the game is. You could play it for 2 hours and absolutely trash talk it. And I had contemplated doing that myself. I certainly don't think I could get 500 people watching me, but for sure I think I could probably get more than 50 people watching me for a couple of hours try PIXARK. But it's just not worth $40 to me, and it's not worth my integrity. I'm going to give this game a fair shot. I've always said that I would wait. Even though I've been angry about PIXARK in the last year, the fact that they've mentioned paid DLC on top of a 40% increase for a game that is very buggy, broken, and just not got a lot of content in it. But I am willing to try it and give it a fair go. But I'll do that on my terms and not associated with any sort of payment. If you're thinking about buying this game for your kids, you're thinking about possibly purchasing it for the first time on the Switch or the PlayStation 4, please just wait until you get someone that you really trust doing a good review in it. or possibly even just wait until it does go a lot cheaper. I do think it's an outrage that they are charging more money for it, but there's nothing I'm going to be able to do to stop that, and it's just another example, another part of a bigger video I'm doing on PIXARK, on Snail Games, and how badly run they are. I do want to hear what you think about PIXARK though. Have you played it in early access? Why did you stop playing it? And how do you feel about the idea of having breeding and new stuff happening coming to the game? I really want to be proven wrong. I really hope PIXARK, when I play it next week, they've updated the game, it's got lots of fixes, lots of issues resolved, and it feels that it deserves to be on consoles as well as working moderately better on PC. But I'm just still a little bit negative. Judging by the history of Ark Survival Evolved still being a bit of a shit state, I just can't see PIXARK being any better. But there you go, that's an opinion, and it's a lot less salty than the first time I recorded it, trust me. I didn't release the first version not because I wanted to be fake or be too nice. I just realised it was just too long and I was just veering off track a little bit too much talking about Ark. But you kind of get the idea. When a company is pushing so many of these games out, they're paying so many streamers and YouTubers to promote it, it really makes you wonder whether or not these games would ever be popular if streamers and tubers didn't actually promote it. It's all just riding off the success of Ark Survival Evolved. I've been a massive part of that problem too, I wholly admit it, but I generally thought PIXARK was a great idea and I did enjoy playing it for a good few weeks. But particularly on Xbox, where it crashed every 5 minutes and with no servers to work from for 3 months or communication, it really soured what PIXARK was. But there we go, expect a full impartial review. I am Jade Plays Games. I give you news, I give you real opinion about stuff as well. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. That's just it. I will see you next week for more information about PIXARK, and we'll give it that fair review that I think I probably need to give it. Until then, ratbags, laters.